Alright, just want to start off by documenting another 3443 reference around Abraham Lincoln. He was born on 2/12/1809, and if you go to 2/12 of 1843, he was 34 years old. So he is 34 years old in the year 43. This is also the 43rd day of the year. He became president on 3/4. Kansas became the 34th state that same year, 34 days before he became president. The 20th Amendment changed the president from starting on 3/4 to 120, which is 43 days before 3/4. It started with the 34th president, or the first president to begin his presidency on that day was the 34th president, also the 34th term president. Abe Lincoln even died 4 years and 3 days after the Civil War began. And I'm sure everyone has seen the JFK mirror things with Lincoln. Well, I really feel like they're doing the same thing with Obama. There's a lot of foreshadowing of Obama being assassinated. So anyway, I just started off. I went back and took a look at the American Civil War, because it seems like it's just been so significant. So 34 states, 1861. The word 34 even adds up to 61. But I knew it started on the Freddie Gray days. It started on April 12th, and then the first death was April 19th, just like Freddie Gray. But it says the last shots fired was June 22nd, 1865, and the war actually supposedly by proclamation ended on 5/9. And 5/9 is all about black people and whatever. Even Pope Francis adds up to 59. So, I mean, I know that sounds weird because I said it's all about black people. It's also a kill number. But it's really interesting. Every time you go back and look up famous black people or whatever, there's a 59. I swear there's always 59 around them. Or 42. But anyway, so it ended on this day, May 9th. The last shot fired was on June 22nd, 1865, which is 44 days after the war ended. 44, or Obama is the 44th president. And I'll just leave it at that. There's a ton more, but I just want to tie it into Obama a little bit. So Obama, the 44th president, and the Civil War, the last shot was 44 days after it actually ended. And also the Emancipation Proclamation, before I even get back into that. Lincoln originally made the Emancipation Proclamation. It was a preliminary one. He was warning whatever, but September 22nd, 1862. Pretty interesting. September 22nd, we've talked about so many times. Anyway, let's look at this. The last shots fired. It was on the CSS Shenandoah. Shenandoah adds up to 44 and 89. 44, Obama. 89, Queen Elizabeth. And I'll post my numbers video, a short summary of some of the numbers in the description. So I'm kind of going to go through this fast because there's too much information to stop and tell about it. And if that video doesn't help you, you'll have to just go back and literally look through some of the videos, because I explain these multiple times throughout videos. Anyway, the last shots fired were they were on the ship in the Aleutian Islands up by Alaska. Just so happens to be 52 degrees north even. Found that pretty interesting. And the Aleutian Islands actually tie into some 923 things that have to deal with Nixon and FDR. And before I even go into that, just like Aleutian Islands, 161, just like American Civil War. I mean, in the mirrors of 61 or whatever, 1661 even. Anyway, there's this speech made by Nixon on September 23rd, 1952. It's called the Checkers Speech. And basically, it's talking about all the stuff that he did or whatever, but he intended to keep one gift, a black and white dog who had been named Checkers, thus giving the address its popular name. So the whole speech was about a dog. or not about a dog, but named after a dog that he like supposedly fell in love with. And the reason it's ties in here is because the idea for the reference of Checker's speech or whatever was because of FDR's speech called the Fala speech that was given on the same day 8 years before, and it was in which Roosevelt mocked Republican claims that he had sent a destroyer to fetch his dog Fala when the dog was supposedly left behind in the Aleutian Islands. Interesting. So 2 presidents give famous speeches on 9/23, and then 44, and then the other one was in 52, and it is in reference to dogs, which is Lupercalia. Anyway, as I scroll down a little bit farther into the Civil War stuff, it talks about the Eastern Theater, which just kind of interesting. That's what it's called, I guess, but the theater, and he was killed in a theater. Abe Lincoln was shot in a theater. Well, there's a guy named John Pope, and just Pope, I seen the name Pope, so I clicked on it, and look at this. He died on September 23rd, 1892. Literally, Pope and September 23rd. Pretty interesting. And even crazier, he's doing the Masonic thing with his hand in his coat or whatever. And I just watched the Zachary K. Hubbard video where he talks about this. It's really strange. Where Pope Francis is sitting on the train or whatever. I'll just pull it up and show you really quick. Here's the picture of him then, doing the thing on the train. And we've talked about all the train wreck stuff. So, whatever. Obviously a Mason. There's tons of old Masons in the United States or whatever. But it's weird. John Pope, and then he dies on September 23rd. Also, look where he died. Sandusky, Ohio. I just talked about the significance of Jerry Sandusky and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. And if you don't know, they play in Lincoln, Nebraska. That's where they're from. And Jerry Sandusky, even from Washington, Pennsylvania. The Pope's going to Washington. He's going to New York and Pennsylvania when he comes on his visit. But he was arrested and charged with 52 counts of sexual abuse. And then him and Joe Paterno both got fired or whatever. Joe Paterno died on 1/22 of 2012 at the age of 85. Even was born on 12/21, kind of like the mirrors of 1/22. Sandusky was even found guilty on June 22nd, and then he was sentenced on October 9th of the same year. We're up here, if I can find it, which is 109 days, so he was convicted on 109 days before 10/9 even, and I just started recently talking about this number, it's been popping up. Even Jerry Sandusky's real name, Gerald Arthur Sandusky, adds up to 85. Alright, well, I'm actually just going to end the video here. Hopefully tomorrow night, like Sunday, not tomorrow, but Sunday night, I guess. Hopefully I can make the Abe Lincoln video that I want to make. I just have to kind of build up to it because it doesn't make as much sense if I don't make these other videos. So hopefully it'll make more sense. I have to DJ like all day tomorrow, so I probably won't be able to make a video. But I took Sunday off of work, so yeah, who knows? I'm rambling. I'm sorry. I'm going to end it here, though. So have a good night.